All right. Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Amigues, your friendly rheumatologist. I'm putting myself live, and I'm very excited to be here. And I'm seeing the internet is not the greatest right now, but I'm very excited to be here. I just came out of our first group coaching, and it has been really wonderful. We have a really wonderful group. If you're interested in coming, know that we have space, and we're always super excited to have more people join us. This is a group of really wonderful human beings that want to heal and understand that there is empowerment, that there are things that we can do. The whole goal is to actually stimulate our parasympathetic system. So really like harness the power of our own body to heal. To get to a full healing. So very excited about this. Again, if you're interested, shoot us an email at info@unabridgedmd.com and we can get you set up. And really, again, such a wonderful group. And today, what I want to talk to you about is something really data driven. Um, you have probably heard, because it's very popular now, the term mind body meditation, mind body. And I completely understand, as someone who didn't believe in meditation, as someone who used to actually not meditate on a regular basis, actually didn't even meditate at all for a while. It took me a very long time to actually try. And in fact, I think it really took me to be diagnosed with stage 4 cancer to really start meditating. Why? Because I actually, at that point, I realized that I needed to do something for my mental health that I probably couldn't get anywhere else, because I was so afraid and I didn't want to live my life afraid. And I meditated, and it actually really helped me because I would put the fear next to me. So when I was afraid, I would be like, okay, hold on, I don't know how much time I have, and I don't want to live in fear. And so I learned how to put my fear next to me and live through it, and basically say, hey, fear, I see you, I hear you, but I also don't want you to take over my life. So I would put it next to me, and I would actually, to do this, I would meditate and put it next to me and say, hey, the fear is here, no problem, but I don't get to be overwhelmed by it. And it doesn't, it's not going to take over my life. What's going to take over my life is what I decide, how I decide to live. And when we have a rheumatologic condition, when we have a condition in general, we can live in fear because we don't know where this is going. We don't know what's happening. We don't know how our body is responding to medication. We don't know. You have the power of saying to the fear and to the unknown, I'm letting you, you're going to just be next to me. You can be next to me, but you don't get to decide what I feel and how I live this life. Okay. And so I meditated and all this, and I still meditate. And what it is, what happened after I got into remission is that then it was okay to look at the power. And I thought, okay, is this placebo? So the reason I had not looked at the studies of meditation and healing is that I didn't want to take away the power of placebo. And what I actually, when I was ready to look at it and see if it was placebo or not, I actually looked at the study and I realized that it wasn't just placebo. And what I did is actually I looked at it in rheumatoid arthritis, in inflammatory arthritis. And it is a fascinating result that I found, is that there were data where we looked at patients who had rheumatoid arthritis, who had ankylosing spondylitis, who had lupus, where there was a cohort of patients that did the meditation or did yoga with meditation or qigong with meditation and so on. And every single of those studies showed that in comparison to either their historical group, so before and after, or in comparison to another group that didn't do the meditation, they had improved function, they had improved disease activity, and they also had improved inflammatory markers. And so when you know, for example, that IL-1 is a target, IL-6 is a target, TNF and alpha is a target of of our rheumatologic disorder, when you know that we actually work on those to improve our patients' lives by decreasing, the disease activity. Like, imagine my realization at that point. I was like, hold on, like, by meditating, we can help our patients get to full remission. uh, and sometimes, right, like sometimes you'll have much improvement with, let's say, methotrexate or biologic with TNF inhibitor, so you're getting to 85%, and then if you're adding the meditation, you can get to 100%. And so there is a lot of data that's actually proving this. And what's really cool is to see that, we've actually, like, even we're using stimulation of the vagus nerve to get there. What does meditation does? Meditation decreases your heart rate. It actually stimulates the parasympathetic system. Like, it stimulates the vagus nerve. Like, when you meditate, you are actually activating the parasympathetic system. And yes, like we looked at the other day at the the science behind the activation of the vagus nerve, where you're looking and you're seeing that by stimulating the vagus nerve, you can actually improve inflammation. You can decrease inflammation. You can decrease the swelling of the joint. You can decrease the pain. You can decrease a lot of those rheumatoid arthritis symptom, but it's like any sort of inflammatory symptom. Well, meditation does the same thing. But how does it do? Like, well, we know that it probably stimulates the parasympathetic system, but it also decreases by itself those inflammatory markers, those signal. And so, I'm here to tell you, if you've never meditated because you didn't think that this actually could help, I'm here to tell you that the science is actually a very good science to actually say, well, yeah, this works. You can meditate to decrease inflammation. Spaceman Jones, Spaceman Jones, thank you for your question. What about prayer instead of meditation? I consider prayer to be meditative. The prayer, yeah, if you actually feel in yourself that your heart rate decreases, that your breathing is slower and deeper, then that is pretty much the same thing as meditation. I think it would be interesting for everyone that uses prayer instead of meditation to maybe try to meditate and not just pray, and see if there is a difference. But there are definitely some people who pray and it does the same. It does the same effect. And I'm not as aware of the studies on prayer, but there are a couple of very good, not very good, fascinating prayer that I personally love. There are ones that looked at patients' outcome in surgery with a group that was praying next door, and they found that there was a better outcome. So I'm a big fan of it. I think that prayer can be really a wonderful way to meditate. So if that is how you meditate, go ahead. And I would also, just out of complete curiosity, right? Like, be curious and see, okay, like if I were to do a meditation that's just meditation, that's not prayer, can I get the same effect? So that's something that I would also do. Yeah. And and that in terms of the just because I think what's important is to realize that there's data. And as someone that's very evidence-based medicine, I've done 17 years of training where I've done a lot of research. I spend my life looking at like the base, like the evidence to recommend something. What I can tell you is that there is enough data in meditation to recommend it for every single one. And it's not just the patients with inflammatory arthritis, but it's actually also everyone, because it decreases inflammation. And what causes cancer? Well, it's inflammation. What causes, I mean, at least some of them, not all of them, of course, but some of them for sure. And what causes cardiovascular disease? Well, inflammation as well. And so here you are decreasing inflammation for your rheumatologic condition, but you're also helping your overall health. What causes you to be fatigued and tired? It's inflammation as well, right? So couple of things, right? Like we know that it decreases the inflammatory marker. We know that it changes and it has some what we call molecular effect. It changes like how, you know, like it decreases pro-inflammatory gene expression. I mean, that's incredible if you really think about it. Like thinking that meditation can do that, that's pretty incredible. And at the same time, I would say, like, if you had been on our call today in our group coaching, which is, by the way, another plug here, we are still open if you're interested. But you should have, like, it was so incredible. We were guided by Maria, our health coach, for a meditation, and you could actually feel everyone's stress level decreasing. And just even like the speed of our voice decreased, the overall, like everyone was just like, you could see that everyone was like more grounded, more present. And just by that, you can actually see the effect when it's only one time, like 5 minutes. So yeah, that's my work. That's the homework that I'm going to give you today is look at meditation, look online, find something that you like, and start meditating today. And maybe if you want to try a prayer instead, pray. And focus on your breathing. I don't know that when we pray, we focus on our breathing. So maybe when you pray, maybe focus on your breathing and just be like, okay, you know what? Like I'm gonna pray for healing, and I'm gonna put it towards me. But yeah, there's a ton of data and enough that I recommend it. Enough that I recommend it, and I think that that's a very important thing. And I have done this in the past when one of my first podcast episode was about that, and I'm recommending it again. All right. With that said, I'm going to leave you, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for joining us again. If you're looking for a rheumatologist, we have space available. I'm happy to see new patients. If you're looking to be, maybe you're not living in Colorado, or it's hard for you to come to Colorado, or you just want a group setting to help you heal, know that we have this group coaching, and it's going to be incredible. It already is incredible. So highly, highly recommend this. I think this is what's needed in our space of healing. All right. Take good care. I'll see you. I'm so sorry I didn't say it. Hi. And then if you're watching this on replay, #replay always. And I will see you next week. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.